What's going on, everybody? It is your host, Griffin Steinfeld. Welcome back. It's been a while. I've been a little MIA, so I do apologize. We're gonna do something cool today. I'm gonna give you guys a big major update on the Apache. It's completely different now since you guys last saw it. So I'll take you through the truck, show you where we're at, what's been done, and pretty much what's left to do before we get out to racing with this truck. So we are in Southern California at Axis Innovations. That's where the truck is right now. Luke and Pat are the two guys working on this truck, and they are absolutely killing it. Nothing but great things to say about them. These guys can do it all. So we'll flip the camera around and show you here. So here we are. We got the precision mirror image 7675 turbos mounted up front. And of course, the big motor. Well, it's actually not that big. It's only 388 cubic inches. Got the nice AFR cylinder heads on there. We'll bring you under here so you can see. All billet daily dry sump. What we've been working on the past day or two is getting the whole front drive figured out. So everything that involves belts. So here we got the mechanical fuel pump. This pump will move roughly 13 gallons of fuel per minute. And then underneath there is the dry sump pump. This is driven off its own belt right there, off the back of the crank, or the balancer there, I should say. And then come around here, we'll go to the other side where the excess power alternator is mounted right there, nicely. They're just kind of being held in right now, but yeah, we're gonna have the oil filter right here, really easy to access for maintenance, so it'll go right in this area. My biggest concern with this truck was ease of service. I need to be able to tear this thing apart really fast, really efficiently, with taking minimal parts off the truck. So, I mean, it's badass. I mean, the turbos, once we take the hot and cold side off, come off with 2 bolts. The entire engine comes off with 3 oil lines, 1 electrical connector, and just the bolts, the 6 bolts that hold the motor in. Everything comes out. Everything that you see right here on the front of the motor, all the plumbing, the electrical, all that stuff, it's all gonna come off on one big, like this big plate right here. So it'll be really nice, really convenient. I'll be able to pull this motor, you know, in an hour, if that. So really cool. So moving back here to inside the truck, we'll turn this around here. Like I said, we're still buttoning this thing up. We got the firewall out of this thing, waiting till the plumbing comes in from Red Horse. So that's who we'll be using for all the good stuff. We got the switch panel here. So this is basically like how I'll start the truck, different functions, change boost levels, turn lights on, turn fans on, all that fun stuff. And then we'll start the shows right here, the fuel tech. That's the engine management system I'm going with. And then let's see right here. Apologize here, I got one hand. There we go. Steering wheel's on there like so. That's kind of how it's gonna all look. We got the center console, of course, with 2 cup holders for the long drives. Master cutoff switch there so I can shut the truck off from inside if need be. We got USB chargers for the cell phones or for the laptop or anything that we need to. Fire handle, I hope I never ever have to pull that because that's really bad. And then of course the really gnarly badass M&M shifter. I mean, this shifter is insane. It's got a little air solenoid right here that is controlled by CO2. So when the ECU tells the little solenoid to fire, pressurized CO2 will go into the cylinder while we're going down the racetrack, and essentially knock the shifter like that, so the truck can complete the shifts. We got the little parachute handle here, so at the end of the run, pull that up, deploy parachutes. Working our way further up, we got a dome light there. We'll add a couple more of those things. A pair of Sparco Rev 2s will be hugging our bodies when all of us are taking rides in this thing. the CO2 bottle right here. Easy to access. I can access this when I'm inside the truck, and of course, if I forget to turn it on and I need someone to do it quick, they can just pop the door open, get their hand in there, turn it real quick. Going back to having everything easily removable, this entire center console is just on a slip fit tube and one bolt in the back. So literally everything can come off. Well, it's actually tight right now, but everything comes off with one bolt. The shifter, all the assembly here, the cables are all in quick releases. And then let's see, let's go back here. This is where all the magic is here. This is where all the fun stuff is. So we got the custom handmade fuel cell that Luke made himself. Don't want to drop that. This is a roughly 15 gallon fuel cell. Should be right around there. We have two giant holes here, one for the main feed. This is a big 4-inch deal, so I could take the 5-gallon jugs and just pour fuel in and not get it totally everywhere. And then right here is where this dude's gonna sit. And this houses 2 in-tank fuel pumps. These are 2 Walbro 450 pumps. These are basically just gonna be used, they're just gonna be used as lift pumps. So the reasoning behind that is because the truck has a mechanical fuel pump, like I showed you guys up front, you need a lot of engine RPM to build fuel pressure to actually fire the injectors. So I'll hit a button inside the truck that will fire these fuel pumps up, get fuel pressure to the rails instantly, so the truck fires off right away. We don't have to sit there and crank it for 20, 30 plus seconds, burning the starter up and hurting the battery and all that stuff just to start it every time. So that's a really nice little feature there. Moving further forward, we have a one-off custom-made CNR radiator that's fit nicely in between the fuel rails. These are 2 500-watt brushless fans, and below that, here, we'll come around here. Below this is the ginormous transmission cooler that's actually welded to it. So this all the cooling for this truck is essentially one big piece. So we'll take everything out at once when needed. Right over here, the oil tank. This is the dry sump oil tank. About 3 gallons, I believe, 3 gallons of oil capacity. The entire oil capacity of the truck is gonna be probably 4 to 4.5 gallons, which is a lot of freaking oil. It's a good thing. More capacity, the better, especially because of the fuel we're gonna be running on. I can go longer between oil change intervals, so probably every other outing to, probably 20 to 30 passes, I'll change the oil. And just to inspect stuff and make sure everything's good, there's no metal in the oil. That's the reason we change the oil so frequently. So we'll come down under here and show you some more pretty stuff. Here we got the Curry Enterprises Fab 9 rear end with Willwood ultralight brakes and all their nice zinc coated stuff. And we get the little drive shaft sensor there. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. This is where we're at with the truck right now. The very next thing to do is all the plumbing. Once we get everything in from Red Horse, it's in transit right now. We're gonna get all the fuel lines, oil lines, all that fun stuff done so we can finish the firewall. And then after that, Pat will come in, do all the wiring, and put fuel in this thing and fire this thing off. I mean, that's pretty much it. I make it sound like it's a quick, easy thing, but there's quite a few hours worth of work left in this, but it's coming together really fast. And like I said, Pat and Luke at Access Innovations, they're absolutely killing it. I cannot wait to get behind the wheel of this truck, put the pedal down, and let this thing scream. So make sure you guys subscribe, like, and share the videos. We're gonna be doing some more updates, especially once this thing gets closer to running, and I'll bring you guys with me every step of the way. So thanks again for watching, guys. Love you all. See you next time.